Hey everybody, welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host Matt Burke, and tonight we're going to be having on Darkgift Comics. So if you guys give a warm welcome for him, that would be sick. What's up, brother? How you been, man? Oh, so I think you're muted. My bad.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's all good.
I was like, what's going on, man? How you been?
Oh man, I'm fucking doing great, man. Just been, dude. I've been drawing and live streaming, and just it's just been a killer year, man. Just a lot of like positive energy coming my way. I don't know, just it's been great. How about you?
Good. And it's only February.
I know, man, and it's like I was watching Schwarzenegger. I follow him on social media. He's like, okay, it's February. Are you gonna stick to your plans for the first of the year, your New Year's resolution? And like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, and he had a point. Like maybe I should stick to it. Fanta, thanks for stopping by. Hey, what up, Tay? How you doing? Chris H, what's up, man? Chris H, I have a show called I do Metal Movies and Brewskis live on Saturday at midnight. It's like the end of the week show, and Chris comes in and he always figures out I have this little thing called Black Metal Decode, where people have to kind of guess the band's name, the black metal band.
Okay.
Because it's kind of hard to read sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like, if you're put on that, you can kind of read it, but some people can't. But he always gets them. Bullcat Studios, thanks for coming on. And we got Jason Bascom unhinged. She's gonna be on next week. What's up, brother?
Jason's awesome dude, man. Awesome
cold
dude.
Welcome. The cold welcome. Cold as stone. Cold stone. Yeah, man. It's been raining out here. I'm out here in California. We had a 1,000-year storm. San Diego got flooded, man. A bunch of places just got fucked up, and yeah,
What's
it's not raining.
1,000-year storm?
I don't know, man. Like my wife was telling me that it was like man-made, made me think of that movie, The Avengers, not the Marvel one, but the one with Sean Connery and Ray Fiennes, the one from based on the TV show where he's making the weather and all that shit. And I'm just like, damn, dude, maybe that's what they're doing, they're gonna flood them out. But yeah, it was like a 1,000-year storm. It's crazy. Yeah.
Sorry. My friggin'
not anymore though. Now it's nice and sunny. So are you drinking anything crazy right now?
Now we're getting getting a little bit of rain. Not just yet. I got my my iced tea, but I got my scotch behind me in case we decide to get a little crazy.
Oh, it's a little crazy. I got this. Well, I'm drinking my Bullet Cup, but I got this one called a Rebel 100. There's a cat that comes on sometimes. My boy, I forgot his name right now. Sorry, Dave. But he's in Pittsburgh. He's CG. He was saying like ID Crisis is his name. He was saying like Rebel. He was saying like Rebel 100 is the bomb, And I was like, yeah, I got the Riot last week, and now I got this, and pretty tasty, So
I'm starting to dig a lot more bourbons than what I used to.
Me too.
But I'm a Scotch guy through and through. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the baller, like the good shit, Yeah,
it's like all I drink now. Like I used to drink everything, and now it's like Scotch, wine, and maybe beer every now and then. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I don't even drink beer that much, bro. Like I'm Metal Movies and Brewskis. That's his channel, but like over the years, like we've been doing it for 4 years. Like I got like kind of like an allergen to it, so I kind of just do them with reviews, barbecues. But like on the daily, every other day or something, I'll have some bourbon or some rum or something like that. I don't really drink beer too much anymore, and wine fucks me up. I don't know what it is. It's like those.
Yeah, I think from being like a bartender.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, you're a bartender.
Like I and being in bands most of my life, like I've literally drank everything, like everything there is to drink, and I've drank it heavily. And tequila was my bag. Like I used to drink tequila like it was water.
It's like peppery, dude. It's like. To me, it's like black pepper.
You know what they say? No good story ever started with I was drinking tequila and then ended with and then I just went home.
Right.
That's not how the stories end. And then but what I did is I drank a little, those like little flask glass bottles.
Yeah.
Of Cuervo. I just drank a whole bottle of that, and then went to a friend's house, and all they had was Black House. and I was just
Ooh,
doing shots of Black House on top of a, little flask
yeah.
bottle of tequila. That night did not end well, and I never touched tequila or Black House again.
I feel you.
Well, tequila I've since had, but it's got to be good tequila. It can't be
Gotta
like
be.
crap
No
tequila.
more
And like
Cuervo. Yeah.
it's like in between, like far and few in between when it comes to tequila. But yeah, Scotch is just like I could. If if you're a bourbon guy, it's probably the same thing. You get a nice Scotch or a nice bourbon, put it on
Oh
the
yeah.
rocks,
Hmm.
and you go to a wedding and you have three, maybe four, depending on how long the wedding is,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're
Like 4
good.
hours. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally, man. Like I sometimes I'll go to like a party and like they'll serve food. You know what I mean? And like they'll come out with different things. And you have a drink with some food and another drink with some food, and then fucking a few hours later you're like kind of just buzzed. Because it's balanced out. You probably know what I'm talking about.
yeah. Well, it's like you can't like same thing with like water, right? Like I'll drink more water while I'm drinking Scotch,
Mm.
like throughout the course of the night, than I would ever have drinking beer, because beer fills you up, and
Yeah.
then water makes you feel bloated too.
Hmm.
So like you don't want to drink water on top of beer
Exactly.
physically. Hey, pops. And but when you're drinking wine or Scotch, you can like have one and then like maybe have a little water in between and stuff like that. So yeah, it's you get a little more sophisticated with age. Some people will say sophisticated, some people will call you a pussy. Either way, it's
Nah,
just
it's not. It's sophistication and just smarts, as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned.
yeah.
Um, so, brother, me and you, we've been in like this space for a few years now. I remember like coming up, and you back my projects too, man, and you've promoted like countless people all the time.
Yeah.
And I always remembered like that's Darkgift, man. That's the guy. Just just being the guy that was going out and just showing people his stuff. And I remember you came out with an art book. I didn't know that you were an artist, and I remember seeing some promotions for it and whatnot, and just thinking, this guy's pretty dope, dude. Um, and then late not too long ago, I had seen you do some caricature work, where I was just like, wow, this guy's fucking badass, dude. Because to me, like as a kid, I know it sounds kind of weird, but I wanted to be a caricature artist, but I didn't know how much they got paid. I was really into Mad and Cracked growing up, even more so
Yeah.
than regular comic books.
I
But I
loved
mean,
Mad Magazine. I love both, but Mad Magazine, yeah.
yeah,
Fucking
top,
awesome.
But like obviously you're a comic book creator and you're a publisher. But I mean, starting out, man, like what got you into comics, man? Like what was that? What hit you with the sequential art bug?
Initially, I think it's weird. Like I had two awakenings. I think my initial thing was when I was a real little kid. I just liked superheroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, dude.
I liked Batman. I like Saturday
Hmm.
morning cartoons. I like
Yeah.
Superman. All that stuff. So I wouldn't say I was a collector or anything at that point, because I was young. 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. But like we'd go. I lived in Brooklyn, and we'd go to the corner store, and I'd get a random comic off the rack. I wasn't following the story. I just wanted to look at the pictures, right?
Same
Like I
here.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember wanting wanting to draw, and maybe not specifically because of comics. I just liked drawing, and I remember I would trace the comics.
Yeah.
And side note, one of the first like art lessons I ever got was from my grandfather. He said, "You're doing it all wrong." I know I'm not supposed to trace, but I'm not good. And he's like, no, you can trace, but you're tracing wrong. I go, how the hell am I tracing wrong? And he goes, you don't put the paper on top, you put it underneath.
Ah.
And I said, okay. And he told me, he gave me a ballpoint pen, and any collector that saw me do this would have a heart attack. But I remember it was a Captain America comic, was this, and I put it under the cover, and I took the ballpoint pen. He said, press down as hard as you can and just go around the outline. So I pressed down as hard as I can, and I'm drawing right on the cover of the comic with the ballpoint pen, pressing as hard as I can and going around the outline of his arm, his hand, his legs, all this stuff, the shield, the everything. And then he goes, all right, and he pulls the paper out, and he looks at it, and he goes, good. And he throws the comic over his shoulder, and he goes, now fill it in from memory. And it was just the indent, on the paper.
Wow.
that was underneath. So I had to
Rest.
like go in and fill in the outline again, and then do everything from memory. And that's kind of how I like got into that. And then I guess I moved out to Jersey, and I hated it. I mean, I love it now, but at the time I hated it.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the school bus. I guess I was in the 6th grade, maybe. And there was this kid, I knew him, you know, we were friendly, but like not friends. And he was reading a comic book. I said, "What are you reading?" He goes, "It's called The X-Men." And I was like, he's like, "You ever read comics?" I was like, "Yeah, not in a few years. I've read a couple of comics over the years, and I love the artwork." And he goes, "Here." And he just gave it to me. I mean, he lent it to me. And I took it home and I read it. And I went back, I remember I got back on the bus and I gave it back to him and I go, "Do you have the next one?"
Mm-hmm.
And with a smile on his face, he pulled the other one. Like, I think it was X-Men 176,
Oh,
177.
shit. Damn, that's deep cut.
And I pulled, and I gave it back to him, and he puts it in his backpack, and he pulls the next issue out and hands it to me.
He's
and right, because he knew I was going to ask for it. And right from there, I just got hooked. And X-Men was my bag, and like, we had a local comic book store that we could ride our bikes to from our house. We lived in the same neighborhood, so I'd bike down to his house. He'd meet up with him, and then from there, 5 minutes away, boom, we'd have to be at the local comic store and just picking up comics, and that's how I got into it. And then what really got me into it was called John's Comics and Stuff, and he was your typical fat, you know, the T-shirt with the belly sticking out, you know, typical, yeah. And he was like a lazy fucker. And,
yeah, I've had a couple of.
Looking back, I'm sure he might have been on a list or two if like thinking of the way he looks, but but I mean, you know, everything was all good. I just say that because of the way he looked. He was a creepy looking dude, but he was funny and he was nice, and he was like, I remember we were joking around. We were like, "We want to work here," and he's like, "You guys are too young. You're like 13. You guys can't even get working papers." And we're like, "We'll work for free comics." And like, it's like a light bulb went off in his head, and he was like,
he's like,
"All right, $6 an hour in store credit."
That'd be $6.
Yeah.
The barber from Coming to America.
Right. But I mean, if you think about it, this was 1986, 87.
Yeah. I was
$6 an hour was like $2 more than what minimum wage was at the time.
Yeah, dude, that was a gang of money, bro. Yeah,
you
totally.
know, and you go there.
I would have done that back then. That would have been sick.
Yeah, we go there like 5-6 hours a day after school, sometimes longer on weekends, and yeah, at the end of the week, we just go and like, you know, new comic day come out and just go and start just grabbing shit off the shelf. Boom, 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 boom. And then by the time we had everything we wanted, next thing you know, we're dipping into like the back issue boxes and stuff. And and then he sold the place, and then the new owners came in and they kept us on. And then at one point they even started paying us half cash, half credit.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Yeah,
they gave us they gave us the option: keep all credit, keep all cash, or do half and half. And we were like, because we were getting old enough at that point, you know, to actually have a job.
Supply right there.
Yeah. That guy, his name was Chris, and he changed the name to MC Comics, and he was a biker dude. He's how I got into Guar. I heard Guar for the first time in that in that comic book shop. He was a metalhead, and he had the hottest biker girlfriend, like 80s, like total 80s rocker chick. And he would do conventions.
Yeah.
And he would take one of us to the convention, and the other one would have to stay and like basically run the shop while she just sat behind and collected the money, right?
That's crazy, dude.
And I always like wanted to be the one that stayed at the shop because she had the hugest rack, dude. And she'd always be reaching for something, and like a boob would pop out and stuff. And I'm like 15, 16 years old. Yeah, like, it was awesome, dude. Some of the best, like that was, one of the best jobs I ever had in my life. Just
it reminds
fun.
me of like the Frog Brothers from like the Lost Boys, you know, like that was, but you were in that shop, you know, like, and then like you kind of grew into metal from comics. That's fucking crazy, right? Am I wrong?
It really is. It really is true. Like I mean, growing up, we live with it was me, my mom, my sister, and my grandparents. They listened to, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, so I have an appreciation for all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
My mom was a Motown and disco freak and Elvis.
Yeah, I love
so
Motown. Elvis is dope too.
No one in my house listened to rock. So my rock experience started with MTV and friends at school. So you got into early on. I got into the Bon Jovis and the Poison, anything on MTV, Def Leppard, like the '80s hair metal stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And then comics got me a little deeper, right? Well, comics, all of a sudden, I'm hearing Guar, Metallica, Anthrax, Morbid Anatomy, and that was my band. No, Morbid
Angel.
Morbid my band was called Morbid Anatomy. Yo, what's up, Brian?
What up, Anthony?
Brian Kreisgau coming in. What's up, brother?
And Obituary, dude. That guy Chris loved Obituary, and I was like, and then so my metal got groomed from within a comic book store. Yeah,
that's fucking dope, dude. That's weird.
There is some crossover there.
No, there totally is. Like the epicness of it. My metal. I learned a lot of it from my cousin and my sister, man. She was listening to Pantera but also the grunge stuff. Cause Pantera was kind of exploding in the 90s. And I was born in 83. So I kind of, was listening to all the, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pantera, Metallica. It was the Black Album. So it was kind of all that. Later on, once 20 years later, or 15 years later, that's when I started really doing the deep dive on all the shit that was going around in other parts of the world. It's crazy, dude. That's fucking awesome. Darkgift. I like that. That's pretty
and epic. It's funny because I was in my high school years in the 90s, and we were still working there. And, I was getting into the early grunge. I didn't really get into Pearl Jam, but I really loved Alice in Chains.
They're better.
They're especially their first album, and even Dirt a little bit, still had a metal-ish edge to it.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to Facelift, all those guitar riffs,
for me, I consider them heroin metal. Later on, that's what they are to me. They're raw metal.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of had a problem with them because I was living on the Lower East Side at the peak of heroin chic, and I knew people that actually moved to the city with the ambition of becoming junkies. I'm going to move to the city and become a junkie.
That's crazy. So you guys both were around the same area, grew up around the same time. You guys are both from New York area, New England. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. You're still in New York, aren't you?
Yeah, in the Hudson Valley, Central Hudson Valley, in a town called Cornwall, settled in 1685.
Isn't that just a little north of Bronx and Yonkers, going that way? If I was cutting through
near Poughkeepsie, it's up near Poughkeepsie. Right. Well, here's the thing. It's if you're from New York City, anywhere within a 15 minutes outside of the city is upstate New York.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Right. If you're actually from the Hudson Valley region, 50 minutes outside of the city, upstate of New York is Binghamton. Upstate New York is Buffalo.
Yeah,
right.
I want to move over there, man.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've seen signs for that town because my ex-girlfriend had family that lived out that way. I'd go over the GW, cut around Henry Hudson Parkway, go over those things, and then I went around the Bronx and then up north, following the Hudson River. And I forget how far it went. Maybe another half hour north from there is where. Yeah.
Yeah,
where she was.
I'm pretty much an hour, 45 minutes maybe outside of New York
you're
City.
Up there.
Yeah, Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But it's just people are just still this is the Hudson Valley. This is still not upstate. I'm really? Kind of feels like upstate. I mean, I got my mug.
Upstate chill. That's cool.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I was looking for a place where I could just catch my breath, put my life back together. And this place is quiet. It's cool too, because I'm on a main street, but after 8 o'clock, it's dead. And it's gonna, focus on writing comics. So yeah, gonna have my office set up soon. That's gonna be
because you just recently moved up there, right?
Yeah. Because
after you got everything settled,
I had to hotel surf for 2 months.
That sucks.
Yeah, it left a mark. I'd be lying if I said it didn't leave a mark, because it's just like, oh, everything's over. I'm out of fucking purgatory. And that's just like, no, you're just in a different rung. Like, it's a different rung of purgatory.
You're in the lobby waiting for the exit doors to open up right now. It's like the worst part of purgatory. You can't even enjoy purgatory because you're in the friggin' lobby.
Yup. Yeah. But getting a cat on Saturday finally, so that's when this will officially become
be home. There you go.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, Anthony, like, who are some of your like favorite artists, like inspirations? Comic books, non-comics. You got a couple of them, brother?
Let's see. Ooh. That's rough. I have to think about the non-comic book ones because they're a little more obscure and never really good with names. But comic book wise, I mean, it really depends on like the era and like the growth of my, I guess just my growth in general. Like the older I got and the longer I stayed in comics and read them and stuff, you know, different creators came and went. Neil Adams.
Stick. Yeah, he's dope.
Choice.
Yeah,
John
awesome.
Byrne.
Badass.
Excellent choice. When he's inked by Terry Austin.
Yeah. Who also in his own right is a pretty decent artist himself.
Yes.
My favorite it's funny, I mentioned Neil Adams.
Yeah,
my favorite Batman artist actually is Norm Breyfogle.
Oh, okay. I've heard
nice
of Fogle.
choice.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
I think that's because that's when I like got real heavy into Batman, was like during his run on like, you know, during that like
Detective Comics.
Because I really picked up on Batman right at the introduction of Tim Drake.
Okay, yeah.
Right? During that
was
story.
that like
what was
89 or something like that? Or 87 or something like that?
It was, no, 87 I think was the death of Jason Todd. 86, 87, right? Or is that 85, 86? So it was like a year or so later.
Dude, yeah. Like, for me, like it was the Chuck Dixon, like the whole Knifeful. That's my favorite storyline. It's big. That's it's like that if you put them all together, but that's cool, man.
Yeah, and then like, and then obviously following that, going into like the Chuck Dixon Robin series and stuff. But of course, once the 80s were coming to a close and like the 90s superstars were coming out of their rookie years, I mean, like McFarlane and Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri, it was just like,
there was a dude in school, like 4th or 5th grade, he opened his backpack, he's like, check this out, zip. And he pulled out the Spawn comic. It's in like the thick ass, like hard, like plastic, you know. And I was like, okay. And like that kind of like got the thing turning, I think, at least in my brain. That's kind of how I remember it. It was a long time ago.
It was showing it to you like it was contraband.
And then I went and I bought the same exact thing and put it in the same exact shit. Like, I want one of those and one of those. Yeah. And I still got it in the garage. It's worth like $20. Like a trillion of them. But that's cool. That's cool, Anthony, man. Like, those three are.
But, I mean,
like,
Dale Keown.
Dale Keown's the shit, dude.
McFarlane, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Art Adams.
McFarlane too, man. He was him and Sam.
Who was
Keith
the guy?
Like my go-tos.
He just amazes me.
Sam Keith. It was Sam Keith though. That was like the main. It was all Sam Keith for me.
Why can't I think of the guy who drew Excalibur? Davis. Alan Davis. What was his name? He drew the first like initial run of Excalibur.
Oh fuck!
Was his last name Davis?
I remember buying that off the rack, man. Oh.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, somebody in the chat help us.
Yeah, I think it was like Alan Davis. Thank you. I knew it was an A. Yeah.
Thanks, Unhinged. Yeah, no, that was a dope run.
You guys are sharp, man. You guys are sharp. So much sharper than me. That's cool, man.
So those were like. That was like, and it was funny too because like the more those artists were coming out, like the more I was like just like absorbing like everything that they were all doing. Like it went from like having like 2 or 3 favorite artists to like now like 10, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like a junkie, and it was funny because I was like right around the time where I was like actually getting into drugs. So it's kind of like fitting. Like I was like smoking weed, taking hits of acid, and drinking beer, and like now and then I'm sitting down reading comics, and I'm like, McFarlane is God, and then like, you know,
his hands. Oh, his
the
veins.
comic books in the 70s were so crazy, especially the Marvel ones, because they were like, they knew that it wasn't little boys mostly that were reading the comics. It was like college age people. Yeah. So they're like, a lot of them were hippies. So, you know, I mean, you look at like the Jim Starlin Captain America and his whole cosmic universe. Surprise! He and his friends were like tripping balls on acid.
Right.
Dude, and like that whole era, like the whole like, you know, like the head shop fucking like Corbin, like all the stuff Corbin was doing. You know what I mean? Like this.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's just so much like head stuff and like, you know, oh man, I wish I could like just have a house just filled with comic books, dude.
I mean, and then during that time, you had like the indie.
Big indie movement, man.
The indie explosion. You have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You had Don Chin with Radioactive Hamsters. Dark Horse came out of nowhere.
Like Hellboy and fucking
first comics. Jack, Nexus,
Dead World,
Badger,
The Crow.
You know?
Fucking dude, there's just so many. Like for me, like that's the shit I'm on right now. I'm trying to go and like get as much as that's the 90s and 80s stuff, but yeah, man, that's cool, man. So that was
an exciting time. That was so exciting. I was in high school at the time, and I just remember just being like I want to be part of this, and that's why I always felt what we have could eventually maybe be like that.
Yeah, no, I feel like what we have right now, dude. Like, I mean, we just got to keep like I don't know, dude, like doing what we're doing now, and you know, kind of like inspiring each other and kind of checking each other a bit, you know. Constructively and inspiringly, or I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, dude,
it is.
It's dope.
You just said it.
Yeah, dude. We were talking about metal a minute ago, Anthony. Like, who's your favorite metal band, dude? You got one? And if not one, do you got three?
Oh, my favorite metal band. Ooh,
choose carefully. Choose carefully. There's a bunch of people ready to judge you.
I mean, like what? Like where are we like drawing the line at metal here?
Poison?
No. We don't discourage here metal.
I don't consider. I mean, even though it's called hair metal, I don't consider that.
Metal.
Yeah, I don't consider
it's
it
fucking
metal.
Glam or hair. I mean, however, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's glam rock.
I enjoy it. I enjoy my 80s hair metal, but like
Dude, I remember there was a punk band that like I listened to in high school, and like the dude, you know, we used to go to like there were shows like there was this church called Rosewood Church. It's still there now, but bands would always play there all the time, and the church would let just bands play. They didn't have to be Christian or nothing. And
that's so cool.
Wanted to do like there was a lot of punk, dude, a lot of gutter punk they called it from Long Beach.
I can't choose. I want to say Pantera. I want to say Pantera, but then I want to be like, oh yeah, Pantera, but no Typo Negative. Well, no Sepultura. Well, no Anthrax. You know what I mean? Like I'm like going through like my
choose one, just like your top 5.
My top 5. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the ones
That's easy.
Yeah. All right. Pantera, Gwar. The Typo's in there. I'm sorry. You might not consider them metal, but I do.
They're metal.
Metal.
Pantera, Gwar, Typo.
They're a lot. There are a lot of different subgenres. They're a little doomy too, dude.
Yeah. Goth metal.
Doomy, gothy. Maybe
early Sepultura up until Roots. After Roots, no.
They've had a couple bangers, random. I haven't bought any of their shit, but I've heard of a couple random bangers like throughout the years. Like, okay.
And then there was this black metal band from the late '80s, early '90s called Moonspell.
Oh, I've heard of
Moonspell. Dude, total Moonspell stand right here.
Yeah,
I fucking love Moonspell.
First time I heard Moonspell was 1994 in Philly when I went to art school. This guy showed me Moonspell, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, man.
You said Creed, bro. Can you take
me higher? Look at me, I'm Jesus.
Creed.
I seen a video on TikTok or something where they like reunited like a week ago.
Oh, I heard.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back.
I heard.
Yeah. I mean, good on them, you know. To me, they're kind of like with Nickelback. They're kind of like stripper metal, you know.
Stripper metal.
Well, here's the thing. I feel bad for what's his name, Miles Kennedy, right? Because this guy keeps getting bounced around like a yo-yo.
Was that the singer?
Right. Well, no, because Creed was, the singer was Scott Stapp. But then they kicked him out, and they started Alter Bridge with Miles Kennedy.
Alter Bridge, that's what it was. I was just thinking of that right now. Alter Bridge. There's a band that's like Alter Bridge, like called Alter Bridge. That sounds kind of, you know.
Yeah. Then the band Alter Bridge wanted to take a break just in time for Miles to go tour with Slash. And then he starts a band with Slash called Slash with featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And they make an album. And then all of a sudden, we get in 2016 the Not in This Lifetime Guns N' Roses reunion tour. And Miles Kennedy's out the door, right?
Right.
Because where's Slash gonna go? He's gonna go make a ton of money fucking playing with Guns N' Roses again.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure, dude.
He goes back to Alter Bridge. I think they maybe made an album, and now boom, Creed's reuniting. And it's like poor Miles Kennedy can't catch a break. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like when you become like, if you're a part of something that's so iconic, it's like at the you got to take a break from it, right? But it's like at a certain point, you're like, dude, I gotta it's just fucking me. It's like ordained. It's like I gotta go back to that. You know what I mean? Like I would do that.
If Danzig had done a Misfits reunion, like way earlier, like if he'd done it maybe after like the fourth or fifth, after the fifth, I would say, a Danzig record, that would have been freaking incredible. But of course, he's one of the great disappointments. It's interesting that that Anthony, you have Moonspell and Typo Negative on the same list, right? Because to me, it's like they both started out as kind of goofy, right? Not I mean, intentionally in many ways, right?
Right.
Embracing the goofy side of metal. But I always thought, like, I don't have to get at the same time, like, if this band grows up, they're going to do great things. And for me, Moonspell became that, and Typo Negative just kind of stalled out.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like all of the Typo albums, but they never grew up.
I think he had the like craziest like gothic voice. You know what I mean? Like he kind of
course.
You know what I mean? Like the voice.
The thing with repeat. What was the band before Typo? It was he wanted to say, was it Carnivore?
Yeah.
Yes, it was Carnivore. I kept saying I want to say Carnivore, but that was a death metal band. But I'm thinking Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, Carnivore. Yeah. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Have you heard of the band Dark Tranquillity?
No.
Dude, you gotta check them out, bro. They're like they're Gothenburg goth metal. Gothenburg goth.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
They formed in 1990. They're fucking dope, dude. They got like 12 albums. They're working on a new one. It's just the singer now though. Like everyone slowly like left. It's just him and the singer and the guitar player or the keyboard. But dude, they're fucking dope. Like I promise, dude.
I'll check them out.
They're my top 3 favorite bands. I've seen them live. Fucking awesome.
But the thing with Typo though is like, you know, they did Slow Deep and Hard. The thing with Typo is they were always about trolling. They were trolls before trolls was a thing, right?
Yes, very.
He was trolling. Playgirl.
I mean, if you think about it, like look at Slow Deep and Hard. You could the troll on that were the titles of the songs. They sounded so sophisticated,
right?
But unsuccessfully coping with the natural beauty of infidelity is just basically I know you're fucking someone else, right? Like, right. You know, and like that was their troll. Then the Roadrunner wanted them to do a live album. They didn't want to do a live album. So what they do? They went in the studio and did a 1-track recording of Slow Deep and Hard, threw some sound effects on it, and made the greatest sounding fake live album ever made, and got it past the friggin', got it past the record label, and got it put out as a live album called Origin of the Feces, which literally had a close-up of Pete Steele's anus on the cover. That when they got popular, they had to reissue it with a new cover.
Yes. Yeah, they did.
It's pretty metal, dude, and punk at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a big. You know what I mean?
And then what was it? Then Bloody Kisses came out. I think Bloody Kisses was their one attempt to actually do something a little serious but different. Like, so that's when they kind of dipped their toes into the goth aspect of.
Well, it leaned into it, but also a little bit of pop. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like sort of poppy goth metal.
Well, Bloody Kisses not so. It was like they were just dipping their toes, and then they, Black Number One came out, and what was the other song on there? Summer Breeze, right? Was that on that one? Yes.
Yeah. So, like Summer Breeze.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the original band.
Yeah. And every goth chick in the world decided they wanted to fuck the shit out of that band, and Pete Steele was like, okay, this is what we're doing for a while, guys. And then you had October Rust. October Rust came out, and yeah, October Rust was like, that's when they really leaned into the goth pop sounds. Yeah, that was like the heavy one.
Yeah, it became a full like goth metal band. Yeah,
yeah. For sure. And then after that was what, World Coming Down, and that was where they tried to like go back to like the Slow Deep and Hard days with like the heavier stuff.
Yes.
But they couldn't go. They decided not to do it like a hard right turn. They were trying to like go around a bend, and like it was slow building. And by the time you got to Dead Again, they were starting to get there, and then he died.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, after the last album being called Dead Again.
And it's funny, like
chick who dated him once, right? This was my friend Melody. She's like 5 feet tall, right? And really smart. I watched this girl knock back, I think, like 18 Jaeger shots in one night.
Holy
wow! Energizer Bunny. She's the one that does the black metal yoga now. And so she opened a club called Lucky 13s in Brooklyn, which is like the metal bar there, right? And she had like Pete Steele's fireman's hat, right? He had like this fire chief hat that he wore at a show, and it was like up on the wall. And then she got the news that he died, and she was just like, she called the bar, and it was just like, get that thing off the wall, like immediately, and it was already gone.
Somebody took
Scumbag had already come in and fucking grabbed that shit.
Fucking New York's quick, dude. You're pretty quick.
Oh, your shit will fucking You don't take your eyes off your shit at any moment.
I got to hang out with them a few times. They used to play a Halloween show every year at Starland Ballroom down here in Jersey.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And I got to hang out with them backstage a few times. And the last time was 6 months before he died. And he was under technically house arrest.
Really?
Yeah.
And he had an ankle monitor on his and like Starland he was still allowed to go on tour, but the thing was he every time they had a location, they had to report the location of the venue, and he could only stay either in the venue or on the tour bus. And like I'm sure this took place at other venues, but Starland had to change the way the tour bus parked out back so that it would get as close to the building as possible.
Oh my lordy!
Right, so they had to reconfigure it. And I remember me and my friend Jess and my friend Laura all went to the show, and then we go backstage, we're hanging out, and we go on the tour bus, and everybody's just hanging out on this huge tour bus, and we're getting wasted and having a good time. And Josh wasn't the keyboard player. I forget who was filling in. From a different band, older guy. He like looked out of place because he looked old. And Josh is old, but Josh can, he just dyes his hair black and gets it all in his face, and you can't tell how old he is. But
right. That gray out.
Yeah. So Kenny, Johnny, and this other keyboard player guy decide they're gonna call a limo and go into the city. And my two friends, the two girls, they went with them and a few other people in the limo to the city. And Pete's like, motherfuckers, they know I can't go in the city because they have to stay on the tour bus. And he's like, now the tour bus has to stay here until they get back. They ain't coming back till 9 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, and like I stayed on the bus.
He was on bus arrest, dude.
Yeah, so a bunch of us like stayed on the bus. I mean, there was still a bunch of hot chicks and like a bunch of like dudes hanging out and like some other like musician techs and roadies and stuff, and we still partied. We partied till like they got back probably around 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning from the city. Because I called Jess. I was like, Jess, listen, I'm getting wasted here. I need to go home, and if I go home, I'm not coming back to get you guys.
Right?
And she was like, no, we're on our way back. We're on our way back. I'm like, all right. And but it was a grand time, dude. It was a great time. he was back there like a god, like just like this big massive dude sitting on a chair, like this small chair in a tour bus with like two chicks next to him. And I'm getting head in like the other room, you know, and like it was a fun time, man. Hanging out with those guys was. And then 6 months later, he was gone, man. It was crazy.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I never hung out with them, but I met them at the 2008 Celtic Frost reunion, right? Because I think they wanted to ask Celtic Frost to open for them, but of course there were fans too, because Celtic Frost was, first of all, the shit, and they had been gone for so freaking long. I mean, there was even a song by Stormtroopers of Death, Whatever Happened to Celtic Frost, right? And so they were back, and the show was fucking amazing. It was great too, because it was like in a little tiny venue in BB King's, right? But it wasn't even the main room. It was like down in the basement. But that meant like they were right there. I was like walking. I'd gotten a beer for myself. We'd found a booth actually, me and my girlfriend, and so I got us some drinks, and I was, I had my beer. She had her tequila moonrise, sunrise. I mean, and I suddenly noticed them, and I was just like, ooh, and they turned around and looked at me and laughed, right? Because that's like a thing that Tanji Warrior, the singer, does in Celtic Frost. Ooh, right? And so I was like, "Hey, you guys psyched for like the for this reunion?" Like, "Yeah, man," and blah 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 blah. And so we were talking back and forth, and they were just like real salt of the earth types. That's cool. How they came off to me, and then I was like, I was cool too, because I knew not to outwear my welcome, and I was like, well, I gotta get these drinks to my girl, like. I forgot what I said to them, but it was something like, ooh. Yeah, no, they were pleasant fellows. Pleasant.
Yeah, good guys.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Peter Steele died so young, but he was a giant, wasn't it? Didn't he actually have giantism?
I don't know about that, but no, I mean, he was a huge alcoholic. I think he dabbled with some drugs. I think cocaine was a big one. And his heart, his size and his habits and his lifestyle, just took its toll on his heart. Yeah.
Hard living. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, but also if you're the singer, like singers are usually the most miserable people in the band because they can't go out and party all night because they actually have to take care of their voices.
Yeah.
And if you're out all night, yapping and and sucking in secondhand cigarette smoke, you're gonna fuck up your voice. But I guess that didn't stop him from partying, did it?
No, not at all.
And then I don't know, we were talking earlier too a little bit about early in the stream about like some of the stuff that you're putting together, man. I actually have your website up right here, man. I was wondering if we could talk about it a little bit. You got a lot of cool books up there, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just gonna play the elevator music. No, I'm just playing.
Oh shit.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, that was Jeff. I don't want to say the full word. I might get canceled.
Yeeted by YouTube's increasing heavy duty restrictions on.
Dude, I can't even talk on here, bro. I can't even communicate.
Well, it's just funny when we have to use this baby talk and coded language, rape, for instance, right? And then you find yourself using that outside in the real world, and people look at you like you're an idiot.
What are you doing?
Like, what are you talking about? Graping? Like, is that making wine? What are you making wine? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So you got a bunch of cool stuff up on your website, man. You got Lightbringer 2. That's one book coming out.
Yeah, these are all active books. That are still available to get at the moment, like at least back or buy in some way or another on the homepage. Yeah.
What's like a quick synopsis of Lightbringer, just real quick?
If you don't know the lore of Lightbringer was originally a webcomic created by a gentleman named Linkara, who was a comic book critic over on Channel Awesome in the early days of YouTube. And he was so rough with his criticisms that when he made his own and it was literally drawn on MS Paint and looked like a 5-year-old did it, got heavily panned and criticized and basically lambasted for Lightbringer. And it was basically a Green Lantern Spider-Man ripoff is basically what it was. Yeah. and a very tropey, weird subject matter, like a chick on a leash with this biker gang, punk gang thing. I don't know. It was weird. So anyway, in 2013, he decides, I don't want nothing to do with Lightbringer no more. I'm putting it in public domain, and he puts it into the public domain. Iron Liz, who was actually, I think they may have dated. I don't know the whole lore on that. She was also someone over there and friends with him. They had a falling out because she's conservative. They're not. Needless to say, she decided to take her stab at writing a real Lightbringer comic in her own vision. And she hit me up out of the blue. I thought it was a troll. I didn't know who this person was. I never knew about Linkara, Lightbringer, or Iron Liz. I'm not that studied in internet lore, so to speak, you know. I was playing in bands back then, you know, so I wasn't like on the internet. But it turned out she was serious, and we put out Lightbringer 1, and in her version, it's a street level guy in a Midwestern town that's basically been decimated by corrupt corporatism.
Okay.
And there's one mega store that's basically bought out all the mom and pop shops.
How about that?
Basically, either
Walmart.
ran them out of business.
Wall.
Yeah, it's basically a Walmart stand, and it's called Valkyrie Mart. You know, and he's the last holdout. He's got money. He's inherited his family's furniture store, and he won't sell. And they want to own everything. And like, it's at first glance, it might seem like an attack on capitalism.
Yeah.
When you first read the book, but if you stick through it and then even go into Lightbringer 2, you'll see it's more about corporate greed and the destruction of true capitalism. And squashing the little man, like I know it's supposed to be like an every man for himself type of game capitalism, but there's ethics to it, and of course there's a supernatural element. There's a reason why they're doing it, and specifically in this town at the moment, they've gone from town to town and done this in other towns, and there's more evil to the game, so that's why you got to stick with it and see what it's really about. And it's about this guy Carter who stands up to this. They basically have people like actually taking people out. Like they try to kill him. He gets resurrected with the Lightbringer powers. So we don't know technically, is he an angel? Is he not? He looks like an angel, but he's still human. He's only an angel when he like powers up. He's got his little walking stick that turns into his staff. And Lightbringer 2 literally picks up right after Lightbringer 1. And everything that you thought got wrapped up in Lightbringer 1 is not wrapped up. And we get to finally meet the big bad behind Valkyrie Mart and who's really running the show. In book 1, you think it's a guy named the general manager. In book 2, you realize the general manager's answering to somebody else. And she's not that young. She's an old entity. And she's had run-ins with Lightbringers before. So we're learning. We're learning along with Carter about what abilities he has and where his destiny lies. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that's cool. That's a lot of stuff for one book. It's got a lot of lore in there, and then you got another book right here, Dark of Midnight: The Art of Anthony Romano, which is you. We could pick this up here.
Yeah, so that's the original. That was something I put together through Lulu.com. I was basically teaching myself how to put together print files. I never put together print files before, and it was a nice way to do it. Go to a print on demand store and learn, the ins and outs of putting together print files. And I said I was going to discontinue it in July. I still haven't taken it down yet, so technically it is still up. But I have the remastered version over on Fund My Comic. If you scroll down, you'll see that.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah.
That's badass. Hardcover, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a hardcover. The other one was 23 or 24 pages. This is going to be 48 pages, so it'll have more artwork and a lot more descriptions into what the artwork represents, why I did it, stuff like that. It's simple. Like that Freddy Krueger piece you saw. I did it because I'm a huge Freddy Krueger fan, right?
Yeah, right.
So, but eventually, when Luke Stone was in his coma, they did a couple of fundraisers, and that got auctioned off along with its sister piece. See, I did that with the Freddy and then the small Jason. And all my horror friends who were more Friday the 13th fans were like, why is Jason so small? Why does Freddy get the spotlight? So I did one with Jason's face big and then a small little Freddy. So it was like
opposite.
Yeah, so it was like a Freddy versus Jason. I called it. So the set, the set sold and what you call it, and it was donated to Luke's wife at the time. The money.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So there'll be like little bits and pieces about the artwork in there. This is in signups. Damn Dirty Thing, a Pariah Story.
I can't wait for this. And we had a doc on talking about this a few weeks back. Man, I'm really excited for this. It's gonna be a short story, and you guys are also putting out a fucking a novel with it.
Novella, yeah, a little like penny book novella, yeah.
Yeah, like a little dime store. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't believe that Doc, because I remember this like a while back.
Yeah,
was talking about changing the name, so it was about changing the title.
Oh no!
They had all these other titles and like versions of this. We were just like, dude, it's a damn dirty thing. Just leave it, dude.
You caught fire right out the gate.
Yes.
No, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because he wanted to change it to Blood on the Bricks. I said, that's a great chapter title or story title.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's not a comic title. Yeah.
No. Not even close. So, thankfully, he had people like us to kind of steer him away from that.
Were you there? I think you were in the chat when I was browbeating him, and I took the poll. Remember, I took the poll?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was browbeating him. I was like, I'm not giving up on this one. Because, like, we would have, like, little, me and Doc, we
posted his balls on the stream before that. Like, we had been on the same stream, and and he was just like, are you okay? Like, dude.
I remember Fowler.
It's like, we always want to think that we can improve things, right? And sometimes you can't, and sometimes leave it the fuck alone.
Right. I remember Fowler was in the chat going, if he's not going to use it, I'm going to take it, and like he was like, just
thank you.
Every few comments, Fowler would be like, I'm already looking into the registry. I'm going to trademark it. Like,
right. Damn Dirty Thing. That's a great title for like a mystery novel.
Yeah. And this one's subtitled A Pariah Story because basically, so Jake Bishop is going to be Doc's main character, moving past the Pariah series, right? The Pariah series is going to be a trilogy. Maybe we revisit it again, but at the moment it is just slated for a trilogy. But he features heavily in books 2 and 3. Originally, Pariah was going to be one big book called Pariah Blood and Mud. Eventually, we broke it into a trilogy, and that was the first book. The second book is going to be called Sanctum of Hate, and I forget the third title for the third book. Doc has it. I'm not worried about that. Man. I'm worried about the second one.
Right.
But when editing it up, we were like, now we're going to have to explain this guy, this detective guy, with a lot of exposition about like where he's coming from, why he's here. You know what I mean? Like how he's meeting up with Elizabeth, the main character. So that's when Doc kind of brainstormed this idea. Well, let's take a bunch of that exposition and turn it into a 16-page floppy.
Yeah.
Which, and this way we can kind of see at least maybe not his origin, but like something of like where he's from, like what he does.
Yeah, a little bit.
And how, so it's like, it literally takes place like maybe like a couple of months before he meets up with Elizabeth in book 2. So basically, this book and Pariah Blood and Mud are going to both lead into Pariah Sanctum of Hate. Yeah.
So it's like an in-between sort of, right?
Yeah.
And it's got a little spin, like a little noir spin to it.
Right?
A little slight one, right?
It's going to be more noir than thriller. Than like Pariah Blood and Mud is more of a thriller. This is going to have more of a noir vibe to it. Absolutely.
And then let's see here. You also have I wanted to show people let's see here. You guys also have Pariah Blood and Mud, and that's on Rampart Studios on your site, right?
Yes, that's Docs and Print, Rampart Studios.
Oh, okay, cool. Damn, you hooked up with his own little spot on your site, man. It's fucking awesome. You got Damn Dirty Thing at the top, a Pariah Story, which we talked about. And this is the cover for it right here. It's inspired by a noir movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 1947, Born to Kill. It was a noir movie. Yeah,
I like that, man. And then you got Blood and Mud right here.
Yeah,
I got to get that. So I could back this on the side if I want to get it tonight. I could go on there and just get it.
So yeah, you can go on here tonight. If you go to the store, you can get either cover B or cover C, which is the Jim O'Reilly cover or the Luke Stone cover.
Nice. Okay. That's cool.
And you'll pay a couple of dollars more than what it was on the campaign. Now we're doing Doc's cover A on Pariah on a Damn Dirty Thing as a second chance.
Okay, cool.
That's going to be at the original price point.
Okay.
So if you back it on the campaign when that launches, you'll have to wait for it, but you'll get it at the original price. Yeah.
Because I haven't gotten this one yet, and I want to get the new one. You know, I'm really excited for this. He looks like a fucking fun character to draw. I mean, I
didn't want. Yeah. You know, people are like, well, why'd you put B and C up on the website if you're going to do second chance on this? Because some people might not want to wait. They might not want to wait. If they want to wait for Doc's cover and they want to get it at the original price, then they'll wait. If they don't, they can go on the website now and buy it.
They could wait and get the cheap price and then get Doc's cover, or they can get fucking 2 other covers at the collector perspective. You know what I mean? That's another side thing. That's awesome, dude. That's fucking dope. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then
we're slowly getting the other Pariah merch up there. Like I think right now I have the tapestries on the web store, and I think,
dude, you got some dope tapestries just on a side quest, dude. You fucking throw down on some dope tapestries, man. I gotta hit you up, man, for one of my books. I don't know which one, but one of them.
Those are cool.
They're so cool. I'd love to just have one right here, like, bah, you know, with the light.
They're great, man. They're great because, like, I say it all the time. People like make fun of me because they know the spiel I'm about to give, but you can literally fold them up, put them in a Gemini mailer, and then unfold them and hang them on the wall, and the creases just eventually just come out of them.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, like for me, like I'll roll up art. You know, I roll up art. You know, like even for like the Butch Cleaver campaign, I would take this like this poster right here, and I would put that in a Gemini mailer. I would just roll it around very gently. You know what I mean? I wouldn't fold it. I'd roll it, and then people would put it out, you know, and I learned that from Michael Beacon, you know, the Ink Slayer. And that's what he would do with his posters, you know. There's a way to do things, you know. A lot of people don't, they would put them in tubes and all this shit, and this is 11 by 17. You could roll it and it could still get in there pretty good without folding it and fucking it up too much, you know.
If you're not stuffing a Gemini mailer too packed, you can even roll 11 by 17 with a rubber band around it and just fit it neatly in the fold of the Gemini.
Gangster. I never thought about that.
And it doesn't even
thought about that.
It doesn't even
crush it. Wanted poster for the next Six Gun. I mean, because it's just stupid not to, right?
Yeah. And I did it at where did I make? Oh, I did Mix'em. I fucking made this poster. I made it at Mix'em. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're fucking.
Yeah, I did for the first Lightbringer campaign. That's what I did. I took the 11 by 17 poster because we had an 11 by 17 poster, cover B, and then cover A was the tapestry. I took the poster, I rolled it up really nice and tight, put a rubber band around it, and then after I put the book in and I closed like the inside, you know, the vertical flaps.
Yeah.
I rested the poster in between, and then, you know, because like the Gemini's perforated, so you just it's that. Give it one extra perforation mark, you know, thicker than you normally would have to, and just fold that right over the poster. Lay the other one on top, tape it, and it never crushes. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
No,
you can do it.
It's all about like the, you know, the balances and the physics of the Gemini mailer. No, and you got to study the way people pack things. You know what I mean? And it's you have to add weight and force to things when you're rolling it, because like I'll put 2 graphic novels in there when I would do it. You know, you seen how I did it, Brian? You know?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and I'll put a yeah, a bunch of shit in there, dude.
Bottle opener is full of shit, man. That thing's fucking dangerous. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
See, that's the great thing about being part of a scene like this is we all share information.
Hell yeah.
Right.
And this scene needs to
try
grow,
different
man.
things. And if somebody's the first one to do it, like, hey, I got Smash buddies, you know, no, there's no ill will if somebody else is like, oh, I'm going to do that too.
Oh, hell no, dude. And like, we got to keep growing too. You know, people got to,
yeah, we do.
Like, and I'm a firm believer of this. Every comic book fan, like, they got a story in them. You know what I mean? And whether they're going to make a comic book or not, that remains to be seen. Or, you know, but maybe they should, but maybe they shouldn't. You know what I mean? But either way,
everybody should get a shot.
Yeah,
you know,
most of them do, though, bro.
Wanted was just comic readers.
Yeah,
it's the
you know
Rocky
what I mean?
Thing. You know,
yeah,
it's the Rocky thing.
And that's fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? And people,
yeah,
I don't know.
I know I can hang with the big
not
boys.
as much of them out there as there used to be.
I had a chance, I could hang with them.
There's less of us as out there right now, as far as I'm, you know, like this traditional like style of comic making. You know what I mean? So, man, I just more people come in, dude. Just come on in. Like, I just want to see more, man.
I miss that too. Because I remember the time when there was just a lot of people coming in, and they always, like, we as a collective basically rolled out the red carpet and were like, hey, here's some tips, you know, do this, don't do that, you know, learn from our successes, but especially learn from our mistakes. And yeah, it's just, I don't, you know, where did those folks go? But, you know, I think that there's economic issues. You know, a lot of people don't have the money to spend on our stuff right now, but times will change. And, you know, I really think that in many ways, this is going to be our year.
Yeah, we'll get through.
For sure, man.
The economy, we just got to weather the storm. When it gets better, it'll get better.
Yep.
But, what you call it? Yeah. So, just so you know, all those little tabs at the top are the different imprints. So Darkgift Comics is the imprint that, like, anything I have to do creatively on the book. Okay, as far as writing or art. Like, I am doing inks on Lightbringer too. Yeah. But yeah, that's not part of this imprint. That's anything I do with it, whether it be strictly like full on writing or full on like actual pencils, that'll be under Darkgift Comics.
That's dope, dude.
So, and then Midnight Images was what my company was supposed to be called until it got banned off Twitter because of Renfamous back in the day.
Oh, that's
that's when I had to rebrand to Darkgift Comics. I finally got Midnight Images back after 4 years of being suspended, but it's too late now. I'm Darkgift Comics, but so I use it as my secondary imprint for people who want me to publish them but don't have their own imprint, like Liz with Lightbringer. So like Lightbringer is a Darkgift Comics publication, but it's under the Midnight Images imprint. Then you have Rampart Studios, which is anything Doc does, and pretty soon I'll be taking on somebody else, which we'll be announcing soon. I just haven't had.
Talking about, man. This is what we're talking about. Like at the intro of the stream, fucking
Ron
Anthony
Jeremy,
Romano, fucking Dark.
Ron Jeremy admitted.
He's been just like promoting people, helping people out, helping people get their fucking books, you know, just doing good by people in the fucking, you know, independent comic book community, Comicsgate, Iron Age, whatever the fuck you want to say, in the sphere, dude. He's been fucking helping people out for years.
Yep.
I've been here. I think we have you know, and it's just, dude, it's fucking awesome, dude. There's not that many people out there like Anthony. There's not. There's very few. You know, he's a very selfless individual. You know, everyone's like, Darkgift. Yeah, you go suck a fucking, you know what?
CK.
Darkgift, because he's helping people out. It's fucking Anthony, dude.
Yes.
And people need to fucking know what's up, dude. He's been helping people out, and he's very selfless. You guys need to come and check this out, man.
I appreciate that, man. I'll take a
man. It's just facts, bro. It's simple facts with receipts. You actually have another. Hunting Alice, this book's coming out. You're working on it right now. Peter Gilmore has a new cover up for it. Looks fucking sick.
Oh, nice.
I don't have it right here.
Gilmore, man.
Oh, I'll pull it up.
I like, dude. I want to watch your trailer, bro. Though for your fucking for your art book. I'm gonna play it real quick, dude. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Real quick, fellas. I gotta bounce. I'm
sorry, brother. See you later, Brian.
Right.
Take it easy, Brian.
Care, man. Good seeing you, Anthony.
Yeah, Brian. I'm gonna pull up Peter's cover, so keep an eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'll watch. Peace.
That's dope, dude. I like
Thanks,
that,
brother.
And you also have your book Hunting Alice right here, man. People can pick this can still pick this book up or back it.
No, the campaign's closed,
Okay.
and we hit a couple of snags. We're pretty late on it, but I was able to remove the obstacles that were in my way, and now the production has actually ramped up. We had a hiccup. Obviously, we needed a new variant cover, which I'll show Peters here. He fucking banged it out quick and knocked it out of the park.
Fast, dude. I seen that, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
dope.
what you call it? But I got Doc Blaylock actually helping me. He's taking my thumbnails that I've had, and he's laying down the layouts for me while I'm working on all this other shit I have to work on. And then sending them to me so I could do the finishes. So
that's dope, dude. No, I know my one of my favorite artists is doing that. You know, a lot of my homies do that too. You know what I mean? It's cool. You know, I don't know.
It's
man.
just cool that when people need to, they rally. You know, in this community.
It's that, but then from an artistic standpoint, dude. Like if one of my homies tells me to pencil and then they're gonna ink over it, it's a jam piece, bro. Like it's just dope. You know what I mean? Like I like to see when the two artists come together, what they do. You know what I mean? To create that the art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice because he's doing it very loose because he's not too familiar with all the designs, but he just has a basic idea. And then when I come in and if I want to change a position or something, I'll change the position, and he leaves the faces blank so I can do the faces because I know what they look like. And he's just basically doing some basic layouts for me. And like I said, in this, when people need it, it's awesome to see how everybody rallies around each other. I'm still getting offers for help with the artwork that I've had to replace. We all know
you're
why,
a good dude, and you've been helping people out a long time. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
And it's and if you need help from me, let me know. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man.
I'll help you out no matter what.
You want to pull up Pete's cover? I got it pulled up in the back.
You got it in the private. All right.
I'm sharing my screen. I'm sorry.
There we go. Ooh, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, he did a good job on this.
Man, I mean, he's the CG king of horror, but I mean, he's so much more, bro. I mean, for me, I'm a black and white, fanatic. But dude, just the stuff with color, man, it just sings.
Yeah, and then for the blacklight tapestry, I just did turn on the tweaks, and that'll be the you gotta pump up the saturation and throw a glow filter on it so that when you send it to the guys who do the blacklight stuff, it stand out. So that's what it'll look like as a tapestry.
That's dope, dude. It's Days Confused and shit.
and that'll be the actual. For the record, I'm not offering help for Anthony's campaign. You're welcome. Well, you helped it from the beginning, Jay. I wouldn't expect you to jump in and help out now.
Jason's solid, dude. Jason helped my campaign out, my first campaign. I didn't even know the guy, and he helped me out. He's another one of the guys,
Yeah,
he's
Jason's cool.
He's a guy like Anthony,
He likes to take jabs because he actually there's a ash can that comes with Hunting Alice called Roulette. That's who the character is with the swords. This is actually a team up cover between the two different characters. Two different characters, two different stories. So this is Agent Verily Wingate, aka Alice. She's the FBI agent here, and then this is Roulette, the one in the leather with the swords. Jason did. Jason,
he's one of my favorites, man. He's in my top 10 of all time now.
Jason
he really is.
Did.
I love Gilmore's art. Same thing with Jason.
did this print just like as fan art, and actually it was black and white. I colored it, and
you get that full. There we go.
Yeah. So this is a print that you get, and yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, dude. You and Jason should like do a comic together, like when you get a chance, because like, dude, man.
Yeah, this actually became the cover for the roulette ash can. Only it's not going to be in color because the comic itself is going to be like old school Frank Miller.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like
it's going to be.
You guys really
spot red. It'll be spot
compliment
red
each other really good, dude. Like I don't know, man. You guys should do a book together. Like okay. So him and Ink Spots, you know, they oh wow. You got the book down right there.
Yeah, Plagal did a version too. Yeah.
You colored that one too, or what?
Yeah. They were just doing fan art, and they came out so good. Like I was like, can I use them? And they're like, yeah, use them. I was like, all right, cool. That's why I say Jason helped out on the campaign because he was just like, yeah, dude, it's yours. Do whatever you want with it. I was like, all right, it's gonna be the cover for the ash can.
That's so cool, man. There was actually too, like one more thing I wanted to share, man. You on your Twitter, there's another project you're working on that's looming on in the distance. That's yours.
Broken? Yes.
Broken. Is there anything on your website that we could show with that?
If you go to let me close that out. Hold on a sec. If you go to coming soon, I think it's it might be coming soon.
Very nice.
There's some promo art. Go to the top.
Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. Coming soon. You'll see. It's just some promo stuff. I didn't put anything like high res or anything on there just yet.
Oh no, that's what I like the most. A supernatural graphic novel written and drawn by Anthony Romano, coming 2023. Broken. Is this your art right here, Anthony?
Yeah.
Dude, I love it, bro. Very like I hate to say it, but very like 90s, Yeah. And that's the stuff that I'm really into. Man, I love this, man. Can you give us a little like anything about this? Anything at all?
It's kind of evolved over the years. I mean, it's something I've been like wanting to do forever. I know what it's about, but I want you to, I'm excited as fuck about it. But I mean, I want you to tell the audience. I finally like figured out what I want to do with it and accomplish with it on top of just making the story and crafting the story. So it takes place. It's a horror, It's your typical werewolves, vampires, witches, all that kind of stuff. And it takes place not too far in the future. It's going to be like maybe 30 years in the future at max, right? But in this realm, we all see typically in every horror book and horror movie, the creepy crawlies are, a secret. Like the general public thinks they're like myth or legend, and vampires aren't real, but then it's like the main character is the one that stumbles onto the vampire and has to save the world unbeknownst to the rest of the world, right?
100%.
Well, in this, the monsters kind of, they not only were like over the centuries attacking humans, but they also had their own beefs, right? That we all know about, vampires versus lichens and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So in this, they call a truce.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Like you don't really see this part. I mean, we might show. I might show it later on or something. But like, explainer, what leads to where the book is in this future is at some point they call a truce and they literally just go ham on like the human population. And like now at this point, monsters are known. Everybody knows that they exist. And only a few cities around the world have survived, and they've walled themselves up. So, like here in the States, you're gonna have like New York, you're gonna have like Chicago, LA, few like maybe 5 or 6 cities that have walled themselves up, and everything else in the United States, the continental United States, is just a wasteland of like monsters. If you wind up outside the city walls, you're
pedal,
fucked. Right. And turns out that there's this chick, the witch, she's the main character, and the vampire in the left corner there, he's kind of like, he's not a good guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's just kind of indifferent. He's just like, whatever. Yeah. And he's just like, I'm along for the ride. This interests me. Let me see how this plays out. And he could turn any minute. You know what I mean? Like he could just be like, this is getting too much for me. I'm out. You know. But like she kind of teams up with him. I'm not going to get into why, but they wind up outside the city walls.
Okay. Okay. Dope. Like that.
And they're navigating, you know, because she's technically human, even though she's a witch.
Yeah.
Right. And she just stumbled onto her witch powers. She's like, she's like 18, 19 years old, just fresh, like college student, freshman in college, you know?
Yeah, learning all this stuff.
Right. And, there's like different, werewolf clans, like, cause there's different werewolf breeds, just like dogs.
Yeah. Different hierarchies of just straight up werewolves.
Yeah, so like you have the ones that are your typical bipeds that you see in horror movies. You have other ones that kind of like look like maybe like a Doberman Pinscher. You have the quads. Pugs. Yeah, you have pug versions. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, I have it all. And that guy there is an elder, and the elders can actually stop midway through transformation, which they have still full werewolf power, but they're in total human control.
Fucking Annie, dude.
Right.
This is. I'm sorry, bro. Like this is like one of my like top like anticipated books, coming out. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been wanting to make this book for years. I mean, it's changed.
Like, this is the fucking Darkgift, bro. Like this is the book. You know what I mean? Like this is you, bro. Like beyond anything. I'm sorry, but it is.
You want to hear why? I got to change the date on that. You know why it didn't?
No, I know.
Other than the hunting Alice thing, but the one reason that I haven't put it together just yet. So I was going through. Hey, what's up, Jay Dalla? I was going through a box and I found all my old character designs from when I was like a teenager, and they're horrible. Don't get me wrong, they're horrible, but there's some cool ideas, right?
Yeah, dude, I get the same thing. No, but sometimes those dude, it's just those ideas are just straight balls, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
And balls is like what puts it down on the page, and like it is what it is, man. I
had my superhero characters, and then I had my like the side group that like back then in my grand universe, they were like the supernatural. Like remember how like Marvel tried to like separate the new supernatural from the heroes with like the Midnight Suns, but like Ghost
Marvel
Rider
Knight.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like my idea. Same thing. These were the guys that were gonna fight, and they were called the Dark Riders, right?
Riders. Okay. That's cool.
That was the name of the team. Now the name of my chat voted on their own name. Like everybody should name. You should always come up with a name for your chat. Like these guys should be like the metalheads or the whatever. You'll figure it out. But so my chat is called the Darksiders. Everybody said the Darksiders.
Okay.
So I'm going to change the name of this group to the Darksiders, and they're going to be this this mythical group, this threesome that tried to fight to save the U.S. from these monsters when they finally came out of the shadows, and all died. Right. So they're a legend. Right. They're Samantha, the witch, and Draven, the vampire, run into this guy who tells them a little bit more of the truth of what happened to the Darksiders, because they've been like held up as this like crazy they weren't all that great, but like they did try to save us,
Mm-hmm.
Called the Dickensiders.
Hey.
Well, by the end of the book, this is what I plan to do, and I got to make it work. My favorite one of the three characters, who was like the badass, he was like the one. He was like, your cross between like a Punisher and Wolverine type of attitude. Like he just yeah, he had swords and he was just like, I'll fucking kill anybody, and if you get in my way, that's on you, you know. And he was the one that the other two had to like rein in.
Fuck yeah.
Turns out this older guy that they've been talking to is him.
Okay.
And then he's gonna sit down and tell them the actual story of the Darksiders, and that's gonna be like the last panel, like as an epilogue. Right, they start sitting around a campfire, and he goes to tell them the story. And then I'm going to launch the book called The Darksiders, and it's going to start with him sitting around the campfire with Sam and Draven, and then you'll have the flashback to the Darksiders and see them in present day, like our present day, which is their past, you know. And I'm going to launch this whole not universe, but like it's interconnected elements. And I can have, you know, it'll be cool. It's going to be really cool. And I can't wait to bring those characters back, even though they've never been anywhere. But like for me, bring them back, you know?
Oh, dude, no, like this is my thing. Like I would love to. This is the favorite genre. This is my favorite genre. You know, action. Like to me, it's action horror, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have the different subcategories and just all the different like political themes of what's going on in here. Dude, I can't wait for this, man. Like, I think this is like your book, dude. I think this is Anthony Romano right here, like to the fucking core. Yeah. More than any book you've ever put out or helped put out or whatnot. This is fucking you right here, and like.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is it's going to be a complete story. And if I decide to revisit this future, because I could always make it like an alternate future, right? If I go with the take Darksiders, they're going to be current day, so they'll be 30 years younger. And the other two guys will be alive. I can keep going with that and never have to worry about like, you know, like they changed history somehow. Like maybe Sam and Draven helped change history, and now they're living a future that is uncertain or something. I can revisit I can do a lot with it. It's going to be really cool. But obviously Darksiders will still take place in this world. So these elements, these demons, like you see the demon there, he's a Reaper. The werewolves, the vampires, the witches, all those elements will still be in Darksiders. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really cool.
Dude, I got to tell Preston about this shit if he doesn't know. you know a guy named Preston Azevedo?
I do.
He might like something like this. I don't know. I'm just saying. I know I do. It's fucking dope, dude. This is like the stuff that I live for, you know. I can't wait to see this book. And all the other books that you're putting out, man. Doc Blaylock, your art book, Broken. That's a dope title, man. Broken. I like that. You know, just right.
It's a broken world, yeah.
Just right there, man. It just like goes right for the throat, and it's just like right there, man. I wonder though, man. Like with all this inspiration, you have all these ideas. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, my favorite movie.
if it's hard to do one.
No, I can tell you right off the bat what my favorite movie is, and you're gonna laugh when I say it.
Most people can't.
My favorite movie is Eddie and the Cruisers.
Damn, Michael Perrier, right?
Yeah.
How many did they do? They did 2 of those, right?
2 of them. The second one is horrible, but has the better soundtrack.
You know, movie. He's a badass though, man. He came back. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, yeah, I mean, I know it's such a corny B movie, but whatever, like, as a Jersey boy musician,
it's got charm,
like, yeah, it's,
Streets of Fire. Oh, man, Streets of Fire. Dude, Sledgehammers, Willem Dafoe, Michael Perrier, boom, Walter Hill. Fuck around. You know, Rick Moranis, what's her name, singing in there, young as hell. I can't think of her name. You know what I'm talking about. The main actress.
Yeah, I can't think of it either. Yeah, but yeah,
that movie. It's like so many like little subgenres, just like, you know. And my dad's like, "Hey, dude, come check this movie out." Or, "I think you'll like this movie." Yeah, you like this movie. I'm like, "Damn, okay."
But after that, my favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street. So.
That first one with Johnny Depp, huh?
Yeah, I love Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the first movie that I ever saw that like. It was a horror movie, and I was too young to watch it, and I snuck watched it, and like scared the shit out of me, and I fell in love with horror ever since.
I think that probably it was either that one or The Exorcist for me. like where like I seen a movie that was scary, like I probably shouldn't have seen. And like for me, it was just like the scene where he's walking through the alley. I mean, I own the movie. I fucking love it, right? But you know where he's stretching his arms out and he starts scratching on the walls, you know, and it just looks so real and so nightmarish. You know, this scene, Freddy's finger just scrape on the wall with, you know.
Yeah, everything about that movie with the practical effects was so great.
Yeah,
it was so great.
I love that one.
Even at the end when he punches through the window and grabs the mother and pulls her through the door, it happened so quick. It was such great camera work. They obviously took a dummy and just pulled it through the window, right? Like,
yeah, like everybody knows it's a dummy, but there's something freaky about it and off-putting, right? And ultimately scary, so it's perfect. I love that movie, and for me, like the my second favorite was the New Nightmare, and then Freddy vs. Jason. Fuck, dude, Freddy vs. Jason. Oh my god!
For like as objectively bad as that movie was, I loved that movie.
So good. Everybody like
because you waited so long for it, right? I waited 30 years for that. Well, not 30 at the time. When did it come out? 97.
Dude, brother, that movie was too good. We did not. That movie was beyond. Okay, it's got some bad CGI, but it's a fucking like Freddy and Jason movie. How good do you expect the CGI to be? But I mean, like still beyond that. Even with that, the movie it's too good to be a Freddy versus Jason movie. It's better than anything we could have possibly done.
That movie came out like 2005, 2006. So yeah, we basically 20-something years we waited for that movie. Because when
they over-delivered is what I'm saying. It's like that movie is too good. It's like perfect for a Freddy versus Jason movie. And the end of the movie is just like, oh, like, dude, he's dropping fucking elbows on like King Crane's in there, the guy that played Jason. Like he's fighting and shit. Like I didn't like Freddy's getting down in there, dude. I'm just like, oh my god. And then watching the interviews with Robert Englund, just you know, it's a full Monty Python. He's saying, you know, I love it, you know, and then I love that movie. And then, I mean, if I had to, I don't know, it's an action horror movie, right? But New Nightmare's really cool, dude. It's like a good psychological one. New Nightmare's my second favorite for sure, dude. And then
I think 3 falls number 2 for me. I think it goes.
Dude, a lot of people love number 3, Dream Warriors.
Because it carries on even though technically Alice has became the franchise hero, I guess, or was supposed to be. They tried to make Alice the franchise hero. It's Nancy. So you got the first one, the third one, and the New Nightmare.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then Jason and Freddy. And I don't mind 4 and 5. If you go back and watch 4 and 5, they're not bad. I mean, it just gets a little campy, right?
Yeah, he just turns into Bugs Bunny. But I mean, he's Bugs Bunny at like 2, kind of, right?
Yeah. Well, the worst one out of all of them is Freddy's Dead. I mean, come on. Freddy's Dead is the worst one. So
that was the one. I don't know, man. Let's see here. Eddie and the Cruisers ST. I love Johnny Depp. I saw behind the soundtrack Texas Chainsaw with Richard Marx.
I saw the band. He's talking about the band that actually did the music for Eddie and the Cruisers. That's John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band is the band that was the thing too with Eddie and the Cruisers. I swore to God that was Michael Paré singing.
I thought it was too. He did a good job like syncing it up, right?
Lip sync. He did a great job lip syncing, but like his voice and the singer's voice matched so well,
right? Yeah, he's got that. Jay Dolla's only Hellraiser is good. No, so like that first Hellraiser movie is the best. As far for the Hellraiser franchise. And I think number 2, Hellraiser 2, Bloodlines is my second favorite. Hellraiser 1, man, just had like the best special effects. It really sold it. Hellraiser 2 had really good lore, like really built a lore out of the hellscape.
Oh yeah. Oh, that wasn't Bloodlines. That was Hellbound.
Hellbound. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then my third favorite would ultimately be the remake. I like the remake.
It was a little boring for a Hellraiser movie. It was a little long.
There was some sleepy spots in there. I had to actually fall asleep and pause and come back and watch again.
Overall, I thought it was a very, very well made movie. I
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought the redesigns of the Cenobites was fun. I thought the puzzle box redesign was fun. I thought the world changing around was fun. I mean, it was cool, dude. Seeing yeah,
Here's
it
my
was cool. I mean,
complaint with Pinhead's design. I liked the idea that they were going for, that rather than wearing leather, it was the skin ripped off that
yeah,
made the design.
no, leather's
But
better.
but with the red blood, and they made her so pale, and the lighting that they used, which was great lighting
Yeah,
overall, but for that particular look, it made it look like she was wearing a red and white outfit, right?
mm,
Because they didn't really focus on that Pinhead like they did in the other ones, where like she was on screen that much. So like you just kept seeing, like, do you remember when Caliban in X-Men went from being that skinny little dude in the Morlocks to like the big muscle bound guy, and he had the red and
yeah,
white costume?
talking
He looked that design made it look like they were wearing a Caliban outfit. Yeah, it was just.
100%.
But other than that, I liked where they were going with it. Like, I liked the thought process. Like, let's just make it ripped strands of flesh that make her outfit, you know. And it's like, all right,
And
I
then
dig it.
it's a chick in the book, you know. So like,
Well, it's not known. Like, it's very androgynous, so that's why, the fact, a lot of people were like, oh, they got a trans woman, and it's like, yeah, but they didn't even play that up. And like, you don't even know, because I mean, they're dressed up like Pinhead. You know what I
she's a
mean?
tranny,
So
or she's a
yeah,
tranny.
the
It's a
actress
dude,
that
or
played.
it's a
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. But like, yeah, that's the thing.
That
Like,
makes sense though.
they didn't
That's
really hype
scarier
it
though.
up. They didn't try to play like, we have a transsexual playing in our movie. Like they did. Like, there was maybe like one or two articles, but for the most part, everything you read about it was about the movie, which is how it should be. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
you can put whoever you want in the movie, but don't make it the focal point of the movie. Make the movie the focal point of
yeah.
the
Make it the
movie.
movie. The
Yeah,
movie is the movie, and like who is in there is in there. You know. No,
yeah.
I agree 100%. There's this fan art that I'm always talking about on the stream, but I never do it. It's for the Candyman, or like the actual Candyman, like the official Candyman. Like he's the the one in the movie is the best version of him that you're ever going to get. But the one in the books is quite different. You know, he's this guy with the long hair. He's British. He's got a red beard. He's got a patchwork cloak like the Max did, like in the last few issues of his run by Sam Keith. And I'm like, damn, dude, I want to draw that character, you know, with the hook, you know. Um, yeah, man. So I'm always bringing that up, dude, because
Did you? I
Candyman
didn't.
looks totally different in the
Yeah,
book than he does in the movie.
I didn't watch the new Candyman, but I
I
heard it
didn't
was like
like it.
a quasi sequel
It
to the
was
original
it was.
original.
I mean, spoilers has been out for a while. If you guys don't want me to spoil it for you, I'm going
He's
to
the
count down from
baby, right?
three, two, one. Candyman is a job title now. It's a job title, kind of like what happened with Thor, you know, in the Marvel comics, where he became Thora, and then Jane Foster became Thor. I mean, Thora was, I think it was a Simonson device back in the day, but yeah, Thor is a job title.
But like
Candyman's a job title, and it
the main character in the new movie is the baby from the first movie, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I have to go back and rewatch it though. But he's also definitely a job title now, and there's different Candymen throughout time. I mean, there's the first Tony Todd one, and for me, Tony Todd is
Mm-hmm.
always Candyman, dude. He's the OG. I just want him and
Yeah,
only him, you know. And I think the more times the more Candyman you make, the less important his Candyman character is, you know.
right. And I
Um,
agree.
I mean, at that point, like, just change it to like, crackhead man. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I mean, if it's in the ghetto and whatnot, because Candyman, came from like the 1800s, and he was an artist. That, you know what I mean? Like it was a different, or 1700s, something like that, 1870. And
Yeah.
at that time, they it's in the ghettos. There's, I don't know, call them something else.
Right.
Um, I don't know. It's just crazy. I was wondering, man. Though, you got a favorite? You got a favorite beer? Let me drink. I know you don't like beer too
Uh,
much, but
Brooklyn, Brooklyn Lager.
so out there, do you ever get a Three Folds brewery? Three Floyds?
Not very. I've seen it and I've had it, but it doesn't Yeah, it doesn't really make its way out unless it's like a place that's like big and like they get a lot of like smaller
Wow.
brewery beers in. Yeah.
Are you serious? What
Yeah.
about? I mean, I don't know if you go to stores out there, but like beverage warehouses and whatnot. Do you see the Three Floyds brew out there at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like I said, it's just like it's far and few in between. Like it has to be a really big like liquor store emporium where they
Oh, okay.
actually bring in a lot of like different micro
Oh, okay.
brew inventories and craft beer inventories. And otherwise, if you go to a regular liquor store, yeah, you're not going to find it.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man.
Ooh, this is my show now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think he clicked on the wrong thing. I was just going to excuse myself to run to the little boys' room real quick, too. This is awkward. Hex Allen says, "Oh shit, crackhead man, I'm taking that one." You go for it, my friend.
Yeah.
There he is.
Sorry about that. Oh shit, crackhead man, I'm taking that one.
Yeah, I was just about to go read the chat. Jason said he drops out from time to time. I'm gonna be right back. I just gotta run to the little boys' room real quick.
For sure. And when you get back, I'm gonna get a drink. I don't know, Hex. I don't know. Did you see the new Candyman, dude? Did you like it? Brian Kreiskel liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, man. I really didn't like it. Compared to like, because like the first Candyman is like art house horror, dude. It's fucking dope. The second one's really cool too. Farewell in the Flesh. I don't know, man. I didn't like the new one. I did not like it. I didn't like the job title of Candyman. I think Tony Todd should ultimately be Candyman all the time. I don't know, but I do want to do some fan art for the actual Candyman from the books. Clive Barker does some crazy comics and books. You know, Nightbreed. I don't know if you guys have watched Nightbreed. Anyone watching right now? They have the director's cut. Everyone like praises it. I've seen it. I haven't seen the other like versions of Nightbreed, but it's normally on Tubi, and you know, it's like fucking Clive Barker's world. You know, the mind of Clive Barker meets X-Men. I have not seen the new Candyman. Yeah, I didn't like it, dude, because you know, and like they go into like the ghettos of, you know, where Candyman is at and this and that, and he's different people, and it's just, I don't like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, no, I want Candyman. I want that one. You know, Candyman is not the same as he is in the book. He's different, and what they created in the first movie is perfect. He's totally different than what he is in the book. And I just wanted to stay like consistent. I don't like the actor because he ruined Dr. Manhattan. That's the new Watchmen. I haven't seen that yet, but I might check it out later. I hear it was kind of whack, but I'll check it out. Yeah, man. You heard any new bands lately, dude? That you like? I know, like, because on my show I play bands I like, and usually I ain't gonna lie. Like if there's a band I like and they got a new tune out, I'm gonna play it. I don't play like the deep cut shit that I fucking love by them, but I want people to hear the new shit and stay current, and I want people to check out these bands that I fucking like, and I really love, and I want them to give them a listen, you know. But what about you, brother?
I haven't really been keeping my ear to the circuit as much as I used to. I have been like going around following a lot of like what I call like the indie YouTube musicians.
100%.
You know, they do like the cover songs. You go watch their videos, and then in the at the end they go click the link at the bottom and go check out our music. You know, and it's great. I mean, there's a lot to learn there about the marketing. You know what I mean? Like, because they're doing it. But like a lot of them are actually pretty decent. Dan Vask is pretty good.
Yeah, that motherfucker got some pipes on him though. He got some pipes.
Yeah. There's a chick out of the Ukraine. Their band is called No Apology. she's smoking hot and she can sing like a beast, man. She's fucking. And like I said, like they made their bones doing covers, but now if you go to their YouTube channel, the covers are just shorts, like little clips, and then like now they're really pushing heavy their real regular music, and they're pretty solid. And it's not like the heavier stuff I used to listen to, you know. It's commercial rock metal, you know, but it's pretty good.
You like it, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's like a lot of the bands that we like that are fucking technical and all fucking, you know what I mean? A lot of those motherfuckers, they like poppy, catchy shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's just the way I see it. You know what I mean? That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Have you been like, dude? You're a fucking metalhead. All right, I am. Ain't it like I'm not gonna bring this up? Have you been writing anything lately?
Music wise?
Yeah, 100%.
Nothing heavy. It was funny. Like I dipped out for a little bit. The last band I was in was more of a hard rock blues bar band, and then the bass player passed away. And then I dipped out of playing for a while, and then it wasn't until I started like getting around this YouTube circuit around like 2018, 2019. There's a chick she was on the Phantom Menace side called Mary Mayhem. She was doing a show called Marioki every week, and I started going on there, and that's how I started doing my open mic night shows that I haven't really done in a while.
Yeah, those are fucking dope, dude. I want to bring those back. A lot of them, but they're fucking dope, dude. Like another side quest, real quick. Like I remember when Comic Skate started up, dude. You started a fucking musician like DM group, like a group, you know, and I was in there, you know, because I do music too, you know, and that was fucking dope. And like, there's not that many of us in CG or, you know, the ones adjacent to it. I mean, there is now, but there kind of wasn't back then. You know, like it was me, you, a couple other heads in there, but they weren't really yapping it up, so it kind of closed down or whatnot. But,
it fizzled. I don't remember what I named that group. It's probably way down the list in the DM list. You know,
I'd have to go look. I'd have to buy a subscription from Elon to go back and dig it out. But yeah, dude, that's how I'm always gonna remember. Like, oh, that's the other metalhead that's fucking in Comicsgate with me. Like, you were the only guy at the time, you know. And this was like fucking 4 years ago.
I know.
I mean, like, you were the only dude.
Yeah, that's why like when Jason and Luke popped up on the scene, I was like, yes, two more.
No, it was cool. Like, and I was like, there's 4 of us, you know. At least that we're like down, you know. I don't know. That we're like metalheads.
But I started doing a lot of like music for like CGers actually.
Fuck yeah.
I did one of the heavier ones that I did was the theme to Asile by Nasser Rabadi. Okay. And that was pretty sick. It was like new age classical meets metal.
No, I love that shit
for their trailer. The first one I ever did still hasn't come out yet. Lakem Amir. I wrote like a Johnny Cash. Well, he wrote the lyrics. I wrote the music and performed it. It was like a Johnny Cash style song. That's going to be the trailer for his. Yeah, it's called Traveling Man. It's like very like mellow. Yeah.
Yeah, down to earth.
And what else? I did this like psychedelic acoustic.
That's what's up, brother.
Like the psychedelic acoustic, like bluesy thing for Joe Catapano when he did his soundtrack for why can't I think of the name of the book?
I mean, like, dude, name how many people are out there like in CG or like fucking in the sphere that we are that are doing what you're doing, right? That are like expressing musically with comics and soundtracks and whatnot. I mean, thank God we could do that now, but like, there's not that many people like you that are doing that, you know. There's you and like Luke, Death Metal Hero, you know. It's fucking dope, man.
And I've been experimenting with my own cover songs. Like I just put out my very first music video last year, and I did a very slowed down acoustic version of Duran Duran's "Come Undone."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I've just been like messing around, like and when Gina Carano got fired, Mike Miller wrote lyrics. called the Gina Carano song, and it was put. Remember that old '70s song? If you like pina coladas,
Yeah, you like
right?
penis.
Yeah. So his is like if you like Gina Carano, right? And he was like, "Can you can you take these and make it?" So I was like, "Listen, Mike." I was like, "I could do this." I was like, "But like 70s like slow rock wannabe reggae is not really my vibe." I was like, "Can I rock this out? Can I metal this up a little bit?" And he's like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." And so there's a video out there of me doing the Gina Carano song with like a very metal version of music version. Have you ever seen that?
Dude, it feels like I have. It feels like I have because I remember it. You know. Do you
Yeah.
plan on writing any tracks for Broken?
Yes, that was the original thing. Like Joe beat me to it, but originally Broken when that was gonna be the first book I ever did, and I'm glad it's not. But yeah, there was gonna be for every stretch goal there would be a stretch goal, right? Extra pages, a trading card, this, that, and the other thing. But for every stretch goal that we hit, there would also be a new MP3 track, and then. So hopefully by the end of it, you get like a little 5-song EP or a 10-song album or whatever.
Fuck
And
yeah,
whether it be songs that I write or a cover song or something like that. And well, actually, yeah, it was gonna be. I do have plans to take all my covers and get like the rights to them. You know, like license the rights and put them together on an album.
yeah.
And
100%. You should, dude.
but what I want to do is like also kind of the same thing. Like for every on some campaign, maybe it'd be Broken too. I don't know, but well, I say Broken also, I should say. But same thing. For every stretch goal, I'll master and release another cover song that I do, and then at the end of it, actually make physical copies.
Dude.
And get like Jason and Hex and like like maybe like 2 or 3 other people to do an album cover, and I just want to call the album variant covers.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking dope, man.
You know what I mean? So this way you can buy. It'll be the same album, but if you want the Jason album cover, you can get the Jason Bascom album cover. If you want the Hex Allen album cover, you get the Hex Allen album cover.
Dude, that's fucking brilliant, man. Like for me, like for the first Bush Cleaver campaign, Death Metal Hero, he did a song, and
yes, I remember that.
Fucking Rotan Glory launched my campaign. We did launch party, and he made a music video. It was fucking dope, dude, and it inspired me because I've been in a few bands growing up over the years, and for Bush Cleaver 2, I was like, well, dude, I want to do that. I want to make my own Butch Cleaver song. I could do it. I know I could do it with my guitar player, and he could do the instruments. And so I did that, and right now on my new book, Hell War, I'm working on the first song, Hell War, which is Hell War. But we want to do 3 songs for the new release, and it's just full metal, and I don't know. I just think it's so cool, dude. And yeah, I wanted to know if you were going to be doing that for Broken, because I know you could do that.
I plan on
no problem.
Yeah, I plan on doing I may repurpose the Asile song for that one, because I don't think that song should be tainted the way it is now. But what you call it, because it's really good. So I think I may repurpose it, and change it up a little bit. But like it definitely, because the book takes place in an insane asylum, so like it's meant, like the guitar work is meant to be a little off, and sporadic, and like
an asylum.
Yeah, and it's meant to like give you a little bit of like a feel of like anxiety and unnervingness. Yeah. It's if you want, I can show you a clip of it.
Fuck yeah.
We don't have to play the whole thing because it's about 3 minutes long. But
how about we play it for 3 minutes, and I'll go fill my drink up with 50% bourbon.
Yeah, let me music, Darkgift Comics,
and there's 8 people watching. What up?
All right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
I'll drop it here.
No, I mean, I love, like, dude. Okay, so like Todd McFarlane dropped that, like, Todd McFarlane did the Spawny shit. I did like one little piece, and there's a Spawn album by Iced Earth. I'm sure you know about it, and I picked a song off there, dude. You know what I mean? And I like love hearing metal albums of like, like comic books, dude. It's just so cool. I don't know, fucking metal like comic nerd, but let's get in here with this, dude. Let's get in there with this. I'll be right back. Here we go. It's very ticky. I like that. It's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, in the middle, I was on a time limit for that one, and I had to have it ready for their launch, and I was still recording parts of it like the morning of.
Oh fuck!
And I popped the high E string on my guitar and had to finish recording some of those solos without the high E string. And you actually hear the pop in one of the. I left it in the recording because it was like you just hear it go.
No, it's not good, and it's art, right? Like it's part of the canvas. And I think that like with music, like when you're writing a song with your band, fucking like, okay. Now that I've realized this, like, as I'm aging, the song, dude, like fucking 90% of the time is like the first thing that you write. That's a song, dude. That's the soul of the song, you know? And like as a band, most of the time, dude, I mean, obviously there's like anomalies here and there, but most of the time, dude, when you write the song, that's it. It's that hook. You go back, you'll deconstruct the song, you'll come back, you'll fuck it up, But that first thing you write is where it's at. That's the balls, man. Like that's where it's at, you know. And
first time I ever laid down the track for a song I wrote called "Me and Myself." I still love the way I did it there. Yeah, even though like my after like I showed it to the band, I wrote it before the band we were together, and then years later we got together and I said, my buddy Matt knew the song because he played drums on the original recording, but I did all the other stuff. And then when we showed it to the band, and we're like, we're gonna do this song. Don't get me wrong, they nailed it in their own way, but I still love the way I did it on the original recording. You know what I mean? We're a different scenario. I did a recording of another song I wrote called Pieces, which I still love the way I recorded it, but the way the band interpreted it later was way better. Even though it wasn't as heavy.
Better, strong.
It was more more moody and bluesy.
Just a better song.
Just a better song. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes balls to say that too. Like, yeah, I did this one better. No, they did that one better.
100%, like, man. I knew that they had the feel of the song better than I did, and even though I wrote the song, I always had the feel acoustically. I played that song acoustic for years, and I knew the vibe that I was emitting, and I was trying to capture that in a full band moment, and I was really trying to make it like rockin', and it shouldn't have been so rockin'. I shouldn't have tried so hard to make it rockin'. I should have let it breathe, and I knew it when the first time we played it together. I still have the video recording of it. First time we played it together, and my buddy Tim was doing all the lead guitar work because I was doing the acoustic and singing. When he ripped that guitar solo, and it was like, and I was just like, I remember, like, all of us have been playing music together on and off for like 20-something years, and I've never like said, you need to duplicate that, because we were like a jam band, you know what I mean? So like one show he'd play a solo, the next show, totally different solo, right? But it just always fit. When he played that, I was like, here's the video. Whatever you did there, you need to do every time. Because that's how fucking sick it was. I go.
You just told him, huh? You just told him.
Yeah.
Flat out?
I said. I go. It doesn't have to be note for note, but those first 5 lead-in notes on the first half of the solo and then the middle half of the solo, there was like these 2 lead-ins. I was like, you need to do those lead-ins. After that, go nuts. But those lead-ins need to be there.
And you were telling you've been writing fucking songs with dude for like 20 years, and you never said nothing to him prior to this about like
that. No,
you were not spoken like that, right?
Yeah, like I said, whatever you did there, nailed it. Like it needs to be there all the time.
You got to do that, man. Like for me, I write one of my best friends, Dave. Like me and him have a band, Nightmare Nemesis. And like we did the Butch Cleaver song. And
that's funny. My first metal band's name was Nemesis of Desire. But go ahead.
Yeah. And dude, I'll I'm like the thing pops in my head. You have to tell Dave this. He might punch you in the face or hate you for life, but you got to say it. And like, you know what, Dave? Boom. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. That's dope. No, you're right. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. Like it's just weird. Like just telling people, and like telling your buddies, like for me, it comes from a place of artistic love. How I feel about it. And if my bandmates are gonna hate it or not like my shit, that's cool. But that's that's cool that you said that. It's hard sometimes though, it's hard to tell people depending on their personality, dude, because like everybody's different, like it's a case by case basis.
Yeah, he was never really like, that like egotistical, but it was like, it was just, and like, we just, again, we were the type, we had been playing music together so long that like, at this point in 2010, this is back in 2010, between 2010 and 2016, we would just book a show like once a month, once every 2 months, and not practice. We would just show up to the show and play because we already knew.
Gangster as fuck.
Yeah, we already knew each other's styles and stuff. We've already played these songs hundreds and hundreds of times together.
Gangster. No, but dude, that's fucking dope, dude. Like, cause like, okay, at that point for me, like, you guys show up, you know the material, right? You both show up, you know the material.
Yeah,
dude, it's a fucking canvas, and you're both artists, and you're just painting at that point. Yeah, and for me, like, it's a sight to behold, or a sight to be listen to. You know, that's the way I see it. You know, I don't know. I think that's cool, dude. I think that's fucking awesome.
I can't believe this is almost 14 years ago. Holy shit.
Oh, dude, don't even tell me. Dude, I have videos of me on YouTube playing live in Long Beach, you know, and I'm just like, I mean, I have a video, you know, but I don't show anybody, you know, but I'm just like,
oh, I do. I don't care.
And I'm wearing a shirt with the Joker of Heath Ledger on it before the Dark Knight even came out, right?
Especially this show.
I'm like, I like that Joker, you know, and I'm going to like, I don't know if he's going to be good in the movie, but I'm going to wear that shirt because I like the way he looks in the picture. Boom, and
we had so much fun at this show, right? So like me and the drummer, we've been best friends since like the 6th grade. Like me and him, like we're brothers, right? At this point,
dude, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Tim, the guitar player, we've known since we were juniors in high. Me and Matt were juniors, and he was like freshman or a sophomore, or we were seniors, and he was. I don't remember. Yeah, I think we were seniors, and he was a sophomore when we met him. And he was in our first metal, like our second metal band called Morbid Anatomy. And he actually played bass.
That's a dope name, dude.
We went into a medical book and just like looked up for like some really raunchy disease, and there happened to be
Carcass?
a name of a disease. Yeah.
Okay, that's what Carcass did. Dude. They're medical metal. I love Carcass. Melodic, medical, death metal.
Yeah. But Tim, better guitar player than me and Sean, who was in that band or what have you, but played bass just to hang out and play music with us. So the three of us have been playing music together. And then TJ, the bass player, this was his first show with us. He's 10 years younger than us. He was friends with Matt's brother when they were kids. And he's the guy that passed away in 2016. But he is a better guitar player than me and Tim put together, and he came in and started playing bass for us just so he can hang out with us and play music.
Isn't that weird though? Like you just meet some dude that's just comes like, dude, get the fuck out of here, and he's like fucking 1,000 years younger than you. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but he didn't care. He was just like, like, yeah, man. He's like, he just loved us. Like he looked up to me and Matt. Like I said, we've known. Like when me and Matt were 19, TJ and Matt's brother were 9. You know what I mean? So they looked up to us, you know, growing up and everything. So TJ just wanted to hang out, get wasted, and play music. He didn't care that he was better. He wasn't doing it to be like the star or anything. He knew we were just a bar band and we were having a good time. And this was his first show with us. So this show, there was a lot of good energy. But this is the song. I'll show you what he did, what Tim did on the guitar solo. It's a horrible audio, so I'm gonna try to like.
You got balls, Darkgift. You're just straight showing this shit. I got videos of me I won't even show on here.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's fun, man. It's fun.
You right there?
Yeah. That's me back when I had long hair.
Why don't you grow your hair out?
I cut it after like 18 years, and I donated it just for a change, and then I was going to grow it back. That was the plan. And then I left my job that I was at and got the job where I'm at now, and they don't allow long hair, so I just never grew it back. Yeah,
I grew my hair like right now because my job let me, so I'm like, okay, before it falls out. I'm 40 now, so I'm just like, I'm gonna grow my hair out, you know.
Well, here's the thing: the big boss has been like kind of,
you know.
Yeah, the big boss has been weaning himself out. Like I think he's on the verge of retiring. So I think I'm gonna start just pushing the envelope and see how far I can get and see if he says anything. Yeah,
it's a fight to have long hair. You know what I mean? Like metalheads, it's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
but if sorry.
People are like, did you have a mullet? I'm like, no, I did the Jason Newsted where I took the top and pulled the top back in a ponytail to keep it out of my face. So when I turn around, you see I have like a ponytail in the middle of my head, and then I just let the back hang, you know.
Sometimes you gotta. I mean, it's like sometimes you got the Goslin stage. I call it the Goslin stage. You know, you got the mullet. You know.
Yeah. No, my hair was all one length. I just pulled the top back. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Carcass is Carcass.
Yeah.
Like for me, Darkgift, my favorite genre is like the melodic death metal, like Swedish Gothenburg scene, like In Flames, Dark Tranquility, you know, those bands, you know. Carcass came from there too, I think. At the Gates, that's another one. Soilwork kind of later on, you know. I don't know. I'm just really like there's like 10 Swedish bands that are my favorite, you know. I don't know, dude. And it's funny.
What do you think about Opeth?
Opeth is fucking dope. They're like the They're one of the they're one of the like Pink Floyds of that genre from there.
Yeah.
You know, have you heard his Bloodbath? Have you heard Bloodbath by him?
No, I don't think I heard Bloodbath.
Michael Anderfelt, I think, is the guy from Opeth. I forgot his. Dude, check out his brutal death metal band, Bloodbath. They're fucking dope. I like Opeth, but it's just like I gotta kind of put them on and like probably drink some whiskey to listen to that shit because it's just a different form of it. It goes beyond metal, right?
Yeah, it does.
It's not. I remember metal, when they beyond. It just beyond.
Yeah. It's not even. I wouldn't even call it like prog. It's just. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, just there. Right?
I remember when they released two albums at the same time. One was like super heavy, and the other one was like acoustic.
Yeah.
And that acoustic one, man, I got so baked to that album one day, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah. It's like I got to take off like 3 or 4 days of work for that. You know, like I don't know, talking. You know what I mean? Like, fucking K-pop is like on it, dude. Fucking
look at this.
Up on that, you know.
Amon Amarth.
Yeah, Amon Amarth. Yeah, Amon Amarth is like one of my favorites, man. Like I know they're like bubblegum, like melodic death, fucking Viking metal right now. That's like everyone in the world knows who they are, but I fucking love them. They're like one of my favorite bands. I'm sorry.
Oh, you want to hear a really quick thing? So here's a little weird anecdote that happened to me. I was at a flea market and I had the guitar hanging on my wall in my living room, and I saw a Parker Fly, which they don't really make anymore. And I'm looking at it like, yeah, that looks like the guitar that the dude from Killswitch Engage plays. and then I see on the back of the neck it says Killswitch Engage. Like, this must be like
Adam Dojkovic.
Yeah, I'm like, this must be like a what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now because I'm tired. But like where they take like a guy's guitar and they make like a mass amount of them and sell them like a mock, right? Like whatever. So anyway, so I'm so I'm like, all right, I'll buy. I bought that. I bought a keyboard. I bought a bunch of stuff for like $2,000. I got all this shit. I'm like, man, this guy's selling this shit dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Right. Fast forward about a week later. And news breaks that Killswitch Engage had all their
shit jacked.
Yeah. Right. So I hid this guitar under my bed because I was like, I have stolen property. You know. We need you over in the slums. You have been warned. All right. Well, we're almost done here. Jeez.
You got slums tonight or what?
No, the Wiggles got a show going on right now, and they were like talking about like diplomacy within the comic sphere, and I'm like, fuck diplomacy.
Wiggles got a show right now?
Yeah.
Well, let's go over to Wiggles' show.
All right. Let me show you this guitar solo real quick. I'll show you why I told him this. Yeah, he had to keep it. Now he makes it up on the fly, right? But I said, these little licks, these lead-in licks for this guitar, because there's two parts to the solo. I said these licks, the lead-ins to both licks, have to stay. Anything after the licks, you can do whatever you want. So I'll show you. Oh. All right, here we go.
Damn, Darkgift. How old are you there? Like 19?
No. This was 2010, so 14 years ago. I'm gonna be 48, so I was 34.
Fuck you.
All right, here we go.
right there. Solo.
All right, right here, right here. Did you hear that? Like, yeah, dude. I was like, dude, that was sick. I was like, you got to keep that. Like, you can never not play that.
Is that a Jackson SG? He's playing the Jackson SG?
No, that's a Gibson.
A Gibson SG.
Yeah, it's a Les Paul SG. Yeah.
Sorry, I said Jackson. Sorry.
Yeah, and but dude, like I was like, it's like he just
That's
fed off.
Played.
Like the three of us just feed off each other. Like I could feel what he's gonna do with the drums, so I know what to do rhythm wise on the guitar, and Tim will know what to do lead wise, and vice versa, back and forth.
I can't even imagine like what I would do in a band now. Like just from like the knowledge, like just, oh man, fuck, dude. Like I wish I could be like, I really want to play in a band, dude. I want to play shows. I want to play like 4 shows a year, like 4 festivals would be my thing, you know. I want to jam every other week, you know.
This was this was my I tried setting up a YouTube channel for us, and then the guy passed away, so we never like really.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Anthony, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I want to play fucking live shows, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Bro?
There's nothing better than playing a live show. I don't care if you're doing a solo acoustic thing or if you're on a stage in front of.
Like, life is fleeting, bro. Like, fuck, man. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm gonna do it again. I wish my buddy Matt. He just last year moved to Michigan, so like I'm out a drummer, and
my best friend lives in South Carolina, dude. Like my best friend Dave, dude, he does the drums, guitars, the drums and guitars, not the vocals, but and the keyboards. I do the vocals, and he does the bass. The only thing I do is write the lyrics and do the vocals. But you know, and me and him have been in multiple bands with a lot of people, but now it's just me and him doing music. You know, kind of like what you do, you know. But he does what you do, and I do the vocals. You know,
right. Yeah, but if anybody wants to go check out the other stuff, there's some cool like from that live show you can go. It's hard to search because it's One Shot Too Many, but if you put at One Shot Too Many music, it should come up. That song Pieces that we were just listening to was like my most requested song that I've ever written. Like people, like strangers that I didn't know, but that would see us play at like the different bars around, would come up and say, "Can you play your song Pieces?" and then sing the words. That's cool.
So I can core with them, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And it was just a song about a bad breakup. It was a song about a breakup that should have happened, but I handled immaturely. You know what I mean?
That's life. Like that's people. You know.
Yeah, and it was
relate to that. That's a thing, though, man. Like
yeah. And I wrote the conversation that should have happened, like the one that I wish would have happened. And I was able, like years and years and years and years and years and years later, have that conversation with her. But at the time, like I was very mean and what you call it. Wiggles trying to end it. All right, Leia, let's go over there. Let me go bust Wiggles' chops. Matt,
send me a link on there, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, here
I'll jump on there with you guys if you want.
Yeah, I gotta see if I can even get on. I don't have a link. I'm gonna jump in the chat first. So here's the link. I'm putting the link to the stream in the private chat, and we'll see if he throws the link out in the chat. So
dope. Well, dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
You and I want to have you on again. You have a multitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of books and, obviously, we could talk forever, dude.
We could talk music forever. We'll be on here for 18 hours just talking shop on music.
Dude.
So,
yeah, dude. And you're a real dude, and fucking thank you, man.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you for a multitude of things, Anthony. You know, a lot of people don't thank you in this space, but fucking thank you, bro. And I'll see you.
I appreciate that,
you, man. If I don't see you tonight, I'll see you later.
You got it. Absolutely.
And always remember, everybody, to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye.
Later.
Given the knife to break down all the beat and take up the blade to cut down all the beats that we have to do that. The pain we ever get. I'm ready to name for myself and get the time to pick up with the fear in the eyes of everyone that goes right back. And I felt the cold chill entering my body from all sides. I awakened from a cold cocoon inside a still